Hello and welcome. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Cardone Solutions Podcast. I am your host of the podcast. My name is David Bradley, Senior Sales and Marketing Manager with Grant Cardone. So, first timers, welcome. What we do on the Cardone Solutions Podcast is we take Grant Cardone's content that's peppered all over the internet. We're going to take it, we're going to dissect it, we're going to break it down, we're going to deep dive on it, we're going to attach some measurable action ideas that you can take and then plug these ideas and these actions into your sales and your business and your life. That's what happens on the Cardone Solutions Podcast. Where does the information come from? Could be anything. Could be a blog post that he puts up, which we'll be talking about today. Could be an article, could be something that gets tweeted out, maybe an email that gets sent, something on the Instagram perhaps. Either way, I'm going to take it, break it down, and give it back to you. I'll probably put a little bit of my own spin on it too because, well, I've been studying Grant's content since 2003. I've got a different insight that you may or may not have. So today we're going to be looking at Grant's strategy of the week. But before we get into it, I need a couple favors from you. So number one, if it is your first time listening, please make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss an episode. If it's benefiting you, if you're getting something out of it, if you're loving on it, if it made you laugh, share it. Share it with somebody else. If it's benefiting you, there's a really good chance that it could benefit somebody else as well. So make sure you shared that. Also, sponsors of the Cardone Solutions Podcast, we've got one and one only right now. Two. I'm going to do two. Cardone University. Right now, that program is 100% free. 80% of what we do here at Grant's office is 100% free. That includes Cardone University. So if you'd like to get some free access to that program, pop over to cardonesolutions.com/CardoneU free. That's cardonesolutions.com /Cardone, the letter U, the word free. Cardone U free. Cardonesolutions.com /Cardone U free. Second sponsor, 10X Growth Conference. Okay. Or any of our boot camps. Here's the bottom line. Ain't no virus going to stop us. People need to gather together. We are a tribe. So if that means we're going to gather together with social distancing and 6 feet away, by God, we're going to figure it out and we're going to get it done. Okay. So the 10X Growth Conference 2021 is happening. Tickets are available now. We're going to sell this sucker out and we're going to sell it out super fast. So if you want to be on that, if you want to be a part of it, if you want to join us, please, cardonesolutions.com /10X Growth Con. You can go there for more information and or the boot camps. Those are a little bit more intimate settings where we deep dive into sales, marketing, culture creation, and creating your ideal life over a 3-day weekend. Next one's in July. It's happening. Then there's one in October, and we're probably going to do 2 more in the middle of those to make sure that if social distancing is in play, that we do it effectively, we do it correctly, we do it safely. You are here with us 6 feet away from everybody, but we're going to get it done, and we're going to do it. Come be with the tribe. Come be with the 10X tribe. Reach out to me for tickets and information. Okay? So let's get into today's topic, which is this. How do the wealthy, get wealthy? You ever wondered? You ever thought about that for a second? I think a lot of people do. But here's what I find interesting. When you start thinking about, well, how do the wealthy get wealthy? You're going to have some default answers to that. Things that probably already popped into your head. Yes? Okay. So here's what happens. If I go and Google that term, some of the first, the searches related to how the wealthy get wealthy at the bottom of page 1 of Google is this. How to get rich from nothing. How to get rich in short time. How to become rich overnight. How to become rich wikihow. How to get rich on the internet. How to be rich and successful. How to be rich fast. How to become rich online. Wealthy is not in there. And there is a huge difference between rich and wealthy, which is a whole other podcast altogether. But I'm planting that seed now, okay? But before we go any further, I think the most important thing we could do before we start discussing wealthy is to really understand the definition of wealthy, right? So first off, it's an adjective. It's a description of someone. And if you go to Webster's dictionary, it means having wealth. That's like the redundancy of the dictionary sometimes. You're like, oh, what does that word mean? Wealthy. And then it's like having wealth. Well, what the hell is wealth, right? Also, it can mean very affluent. It could mean characterized by abundance, ample. Notice there is no use of the words rich or money in the definition of wealthy. It means having wealth, means very affluent, characterized by abundance, ample. Okay? So what is wealth then? So if wealthy means having wealth, well, what is wealth? So the first definition you're going to find says abundance of valuable material possessions or resources. The second definition is abundant supply, profusion. Still no mention of money. Then we get into the third definition. The third, not the first, not the second, number 3, tres. It is this: all property that has a money value or an exchangeable value. And then B, there's 3A and 3B. 3B is this one: all material objects that have economic utility, especially the stock of useful goods having economic value in existence at any one time, national wealth. So, your first action idea today, maybe grab a pen and some paper. Start thinking about this. This is your action idea number 1. Other than money, what else can you be wealthy in? I want you to make a list. You know, make a list of all the things other than money that you can be wealthy in. Remember, abundant supply, ample, profusion, profuse, a lot, whole bunch. Now, once you have your list, and you look at that list, I'd like you to identify, who do you know that is truly wealthy? Who do you know? Now, when you ask the question, how do the wealthy get wealthy? With your new view of the word, does it change the way you think about it? Is your perception different now? Remember the late, great Wayne Dyer, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So let's ask the question again with our new perspective, our new paradigm. How do the wealthy get wealthy? So here's the deal. As with all things in our universe, creation always starts with a thought. It's vital for you to, you got to understand that. It's so vital that you get that, okay? All creation starts with a thought. Everything that exists in your life right now is a direct response and indirect proportion to your thoughts, your decisions, and the volume of the actions that you take. So, in Grant Cardone's latest strategy of the week, he starts it off with the following quote. It's not a secret I have always been interested in wealth. Since I was a little kid, I watched my mother worry about money, and I have been interested in learning what the wealthy knew that we didn't know. So with that, if you would like more wealth in your life, it would make sense to understand the mindset and the thought processes of the already wealthy. And then, while we're at it, look for the differences, the disagreements, and opportunities for us to shift our thinking to a more wealthy frame of mind. So right now, we are in the middle of a health and financial crisis. And these two are completely interwoven and deeply connected. The coronavirus, to some degree, has and will impact every person on planet Earth. Most of us are going to have our finances impacted, some more than others, but everyone's going to feel this. I mean, imagine just for a moment right now being a barber or a cosmetologist or a waiter or a bartender or any service-orientated business, a personal trainer, gym owner. What about, think about all the people in the entertainment business. I'm not just talking about the people in front of the camera, mind you. I'm talking about the thousands of names that scroll by when the credits roll after you've already left the theater. Once you recognize that Samuel Jackson is not going to pop out at the end of this particular movie and ask the main character to join the new Avengers, once you realize that and you bail, there's like 1,000 other names that scroll up that are all not working right now. None of them. There are more people suffering financially from COVID-19 than are actually sick. So as Grant puts in the strategy, while money won't buy you happiness, cue up the Beatles song. While money won't buy you happiness, it's the only thing that pays the rent, healthcare, toilet paper, masks, food, and the like. Unfortunately, during this time, like any other crisis, the wealthy will get wealthier and everyone else will end up with less. It's sad but true. And this redistribution has been happening since the Great Depression or before. I'm going to go with before. And it makes me question again how the wealthy treat money differently than others. Okay? It makes me question again how the wealthy treat money differently than others. Hopefully your wheels are turning, mine are. So when you think about your current situation and the situation of your immediate family and those close to you, where would you rather be right now? Do you want to be financially secure and free? Or stressed out and worried about rent and toilet paper? Before all this went down, 76% of Americans were literally living paycheck to paycheck. And if you were at the lower end of that spectrum, you follow? You picking up what I'm putting down? Okay? So this all starts with how you think. And so in the strategy, Grant gives us 10 mindsets to study, 10 mindsets to analyze and question. And this is going to require deep reflection on your part. This is going to require that you have to set aside your ego and you have to be willing to open your mind and confront your reality with your potential. What do I mean by that real fast? Think about where you're at right now versus what you're truly capable of doing and being and performing and creating and having. Okay, those two things should not match. If they do, you got a whole lot of work to do. Okay, so your second action idea is I'm going to break down the 10 mindsets of the wealthy in comparison to the mindsets of everyone else. And I want you to listen closely and figure out which side you are on. Where do you have the most agreement with? Don't get too caught up in judging or being analytical about the statements. Just understand, know right now, we can fix it later. Know where you are on the scale. Because until you know where you are, you can't go anywhere. So, the wealthy and everyone else. I was tempted to say versus, but I don't think it's not a competition. It's just a place. Where are you at right now? So the mindsets of the wealthy, the mindsets of everyone else. Mindset number 1 for the wealthy. Money is good. Everyone else, money's bad. The wealthy are investors. Everyone else are spenders. Which one are you? You an investor or a spender? Is money good or is money bad? The wealthy use debt. Everyone else gets used by debt. The wealthy pursue money and happiness. Everyone else thinks it's money or happiness. The wealthy are tax savvy. Everyone else are tax victims. The wealthy seek freedom. Everyone else seeks comfort. The wealthy buy time. Everyone else sells time. The wealthy create multiple flows of income, and everyone else has one flow of income. The wealthy are wealth driven, ironically. They're going for wealth. And everyone else is income driven. The wealthy are opportunity focused, and everyone else is obstacle focused. Those are the 10. Which leads us to the question, do you need to change your mind? There's some things in that list that right? They're challenging. So the wealthy get wealthy because they think differently. That's the answer. How do the wealthy get wealthy? They think differently. Remember, that starts the process. Their thoughts start the process. Then it moves into the decisions that they make and what they do about the thoughts. And from there, it's really just a matter of volume of action taken. So your action idea number 3. And this is really a hard question. You got to ask yourself the hard questions, though. You got to confront this stuff. Change doesn't always feel good. It's not about feeling good. You ready for the hard question? Have you given up on you being wealthy? Now notice I didn't say, have you given up on becoming wealthy? I said, have you given up on being wealthy? What's the difference? Wealth is a state of mind before anything else. So that means you are being wealthy. How are you going to shift your think? I mean, how old are you? That's how many years of programming you got to rewrite now. And while it can't be done overnight per se, you can put a pretty big chunk in it in about 2 to 4 weeks. Rewriting programming. Like, where would you start? Like, if you go back over the list of 10 and you look for the number 1 shift in mindset that you need to make, the one that if you just make that one shift, like, it would immediately change your life for the better. Which one was it? And then, I don't know, what would happen if you just set aside 20 to 30 minutes a day, every day, and just worked on making that shift, worked on making it stick. Because right now, Grant is giving you the opportunity to change your mind with Cardone University. Like you can take advantage of the free access to that program right now. You can start the process of shifting towards a mindset of wealth and abundance. And the only thing it's going to cost you right now is time and attention. Oh, and the willingness to confront. So to get started with that, where do we go? Very simple. You go to cardonesolutions.com/Cardone free. That's cardonesolutions.com/Cardone, the letter U, free. Okay? And when you get registered, here's what I want you to do. When you get registered, I want you to send me an email, david@grantcardone.com, with your registration confirmation. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to schedule a free coach call with you where we identify the wealth mindset you most want to work on. And I will help you find the right content inside Cardone University. And I will give you the ultimate Cardone U training schedule. So if you're ready to change your mind, well, let me ask you this. Could you? Could you change your mind? If the answer is yes, you're like, yeah, I could. I totally could. Okay. If the answer to that is, yeah, I could, then the next question is, would you? Would you change your mind? It's one thing to be like, yeah, I could do that, but it's another thing to actually do it. And if the answer to the would you is yes, then the question would be when. And you and I both know that, like, you know, the best time to do something is when. That's right. Now, so head on over, cardonesolutions.com/Cardone free. Will you let us help you? Okay, that's the question. Will you let us help you? Okay, so what'd you get out of this? Okay, thank you so much for listening. Appreciate you being here. This has been another exciting episode of the Cardone Solutions Podcast. My name again is David Bradley. If I can help you, if I can serve you, shoot an email out, david@grantcardone.com, or pick up the phone, 310-777-0352. Thanks again for listening. I will leave you with the words of Grant Cardone as always. Be great, because nothing else pays.